Oh, I can't do that. Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Hungry Bleak Show. I am Antonio Pomares, and you know what? Let's make the Hungry Bleak Show the home for indie creators. How does that sound? The Hungry Bleak Show, the home for the best in the Black indie community, not just comics, but creators, writers, artists. That's where I want this to be your go-to spot for the best indie creators, Black, people of color, everybody's marginalized, non-gender conforming folks, LGBTQ, LGBTQ, IA, everybody. Let's make that a thing. So, how are you all doing? I know, right? This weather. I mean, right? Um, if you're here on the East Coast, I'm in Jersey. Don't boo it. Sorry. And there's a really bad storms. Like last weekend, it rained for 3 or 4 days straight. Swore I saw Moses rolling by. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. Um, Everything got water. I'll say that. I don't know if that really does it. So this weekend, it's rained all day yesterday. Wait, did it rain yesterday? Yes, it rained most of today. Supposed to rain tomorrow as well. In the morning, then not so much at night. I think right now the rain has kind of subsided, but there's a lot of flooding going on. Unfortunately, sucks. So if you're in Jersey, if you're in Monmouth County in this area, I heard Brooklyn got a lot of rain. Right now, just watching my local news. So be careful. Please be safe. Um, you know, please. So yeah. So how are y'all doing? Doing right? It's been a week, right? A lot going on. But I want you to take a deep breath. Take it in, take it in, take it in, soak it in. There you go, just like that. Awesome, perfect. It's fall. Sweaters are out here. Hot tea is on deck. Just burnt my damn tongue. Woo. Let's get into it. So, lots been going on. As far as entertainment wise in general, one of the biggest stories out there, obviously, is the fact of the strike. The writers, the writers strike. The Writers Guild was on strikes since the summer, and everything shut down. Done. Then Screen Actors, they came into it to rally with them and went on strike. I think it was awesome. Great. Pay these people what they are worth. So we weren't getting any of the talk shows, although a couple of people tried to come back. Drew Barrymore tried to come back. She said, "You know what? Yeah, let me just sit back and just chill." Good call. Bill Maher, I think, was going to be coming back. Couldn't care less. Uh, but now they have a tentative deal, which is great. Awesome. Love it. A lot more strikes are happening. Like I've said, strikes are coming up because people realize that they need to be paid what they're worth. And you have to pay people what they're worth. You can't just go, oh, well, we'll give you this. No. If you have such an important thing, the entertainment industry is huge. Writers are huge. They don't get paid as much as the actors, which is weird because they're the ones actually writing stuff. I digress. Thank you, Taz. So we finally have this tentative deal going on with the writers guild, which I think is great. I'm so happy that they are getting what they want within a certain. Obviously, I'm sure they would have wanted more, but I'm glad they're getting what they got and they can go back to work because I know that they're chomping at the bit and we almost didn't get a new season because this is around a time when new shows start and everything start filming things, what have you, other stuff. We weren't getting any of that. We weren't getting it. We haven't had any talk shows, any of that stuff. I don't watch a lot of talk shows anyway. It's funny. But I think it's great that getting it. I love it. Awesome. Now, hot on the heels of this, thank you very much, Robert Jeffrey, for this actually. Uh, so Marvel Studios execs are eyeing uh, pitches for the X-Men movie with that new thing. This is going to be the biggest thing in Marvel, truthfully. Bringing the X-Men into the fold, bring all of mutants into the fold is incredible. The X-Men are one of the most popular franchises in comic books across the board. no matter what. And what was it, about 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, where Hickman, they gave the reins over to all of the X-Men and X titles and mutants, what have you, over to Hickman, and Hickman blew it out the water, introducing us to Krakoa, introducing us to Moira McTaggart, the mutant, the whole time. Resurrection, everything, X-Men Gala, the Gala, the Hellfire Gala, excuse me, Hellfire Gala, all of that. So, and now we're going to be getting a movie. Obviously, that was bound to happen. It had to, because we would like a movie. So, Deadline was reporting that this is going to be what's happening. So they're got pitches. So if you are a writer, and I know there are a lot of incredible writers out there, everything going on, I hope you get the money. Obviously, get your money from this. Marvel has deep pockets. The studio executives, everything, they have deep pockets, and this is going to be a huge franchise because the X titles are incredible, and the MCU needs this. They need something really, because it's been rather stale, because they're focusing. So we had the whole Infinity Gauntlet, which was great. We had that whole the whole saga, awesome. 10+ years and over 20 movies, I believe. Was it? Yeah, awesome. But there needs to be more. We need to go into the mutants. We need to go into Supernatural, Blade. We need to do all of that. And what we can have with this is amazing. So if you are a writer and you have the opportunity and you have the ability to go into those channels and, somehow get in there, please. I'm rooting for you. I already made my pitch on Fandom Initiative of what I would say would be the best way to do the X-Men. Actually, all of the mutants. I said it, and then I said which you can cherry pick different stories. Obviously, you want to have the Phoenix Saga, God Loves, Man Kills, Days of Future Past. I mean, the movie was actually really. I actually enjoyed that movie. It was, aside from the fact they made Wolverine once again the center of the universe. Wasn't necessary, but yeah, I'm excited for this. I want to see where they go with this. I mean, I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Excuse me. Next story up. This was actually pretty cool, and I'm excited about this because I was a huge fan of this as a kid, and the writer that's on this is awesome. So, Dick Tracy. We all know Dick Tracy. The hardball detective, Sam Ketchum, and all of his rogues gallery, Flat Top. God, I'm trying to remember all their names. Mumbles, like all of them. They're going to be doing a new comic through Mad Cave Studios, and the writer on this is going to be one of my favorites. I'm a huge fan of this guy, Michael Morrissey. Now, if you don't know him, you probably have heard me talk about Barbaric and Queen of Swords. Yes, that's the same cat. I would love to see what he does with this. If they do more of the hard-boiled, instead of like the campy movie that we had with Warren Beatty and Al Pacino and Madonna, do more of the hard-boiled detective, more noir, get a little gritty, make it that. I think this will be awesome. I mean, even look at the picture itself. It was just one of the coolest things I remember as a kid when this really started coming out, and people were like, we're talking about the movie, and the movie was really great. Started re-showing the cartoons that they had from years ago. I'm excited about this. I want to see this. This is a fun one. I want this. I want this like a fat kid loves cake. And we all know how much I love cake. I'd like some cake right now, actually, to be honest with you. But that's just me. Yeah, so this is cool. I want to see what's coming out. I think I have a couple of comics from Mad Cave. They're a company that I enjoy. I'm trying to remember what comic it is that I have from them. But I know whatever it is, that it was really good and it was banging. So I'm excited for that. I want to hear what that is going to be happening, what we're going to be doing, and the team. And when more details come out from it, I want to check it out. But yeah, Mad Cave is a company you definitely need to check out because they've got some stuff going on. And I love that. So, folks, I'm going to take a quick break. But I want you to sit there and chill, and I'll be right back after this message. See you. And I'm back. See, that wasn't too long. I told you I'd be right back. I told you. So now we're gonna have some comic book reviews. We're gonna throw them in there. You know, saying that this show is going a bit quick. Yes, it is. It is. Because I think I've been taking so much of your time lately. And even as much as I appreciate you sitting here with me and speaking and talking and enjoying this and listening to me rant and rave about whatever and sounding sanctimonious at times, and also just sitting here drinking tea and wearing the best of indie shirts and sweaters, and my mug collection is top tier. It's really too nice. I don't want to take up your whole day. Promise that. So the next one up that we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing reviews, and we've got a review for Green Lantern War Journal. I talked about this when it was announced, and I was really excited about it because I was like, oh, I want to see what's going on. Now, I have to go back and I have to reread. Well, I have to read the stuff before this because I read the first volume. I have to read the second volume. This is Jeffrey Thorne, I want to say, was the writer for it, and I really enjoyed it, loved it. So I want to go back and check this out. But this is Green Lantern War Journal through DC Comics, obviously. And this is, for a writer, we have got, excuse me, we've got Philip Kennedy Johnson. Artist, we've got Montos. Colorist, we've got Adriano Lucas. A letterer, we've got Dave Sharp. So this is, it starts out with some trouble in space. The space station, they're trying to do some repairs, and all of a sudden you see a purple object in the background. One of the astronauts who's outside trying to do repairs, he has a purple object outside. You already know where I'm going with this if you know the Lantern Corps. It's that purple. It's that purple. Purple. What is purple? As much as I love purple, why am I saying purple? You know why? Because it's the perfect color. Purple. There we go. It was a horrible, horrible cleanup of a horrible, horrible mispronunciation. I apologize all around. So we see it, and it begins to change Jane, the astronaut who is outside doing repairs, while her crew is inside dying now because she's becoming so enamored with the sapphire ring. But then we find on Earth, John is he's doing some repairs at his mother's house, but he's remembering his past deeds as a Green Lantern, and his mother is there. She's asking about his little sister, and he's like, "Oh, I'll get her back, or she'll be back later." And the Green Lantern comes and is like, "Look," Green Lantern comes to try to arrest John. John said because they can feel the energy signature of a ring. So I was like, I don't have a ring. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, yes, you got it. He's like, nope, I just have the power. So John just thoroughly whips the tail of this Green Lantern, sends them out into space. And the mother asks again where his little sister is. And as John's about to tell her the truth, he goes, screw it. And he just makes a construct of her to go talk to the mother. And they're saying they're talking, and you begin to realize something is wrong. You realize there's something wrong on two fronts, actually three fronts, two at home, one out in space. So Green Lantern, so we have another Green Lantern who is checking out this whole wreckage of the space station, looking to see what's going on, and realizes that there is the sapphire and something is definitely going wrong. Got to figure it out. But then we realize at home, like I said, the mother, I believe they're going, the mother has Alzheimer's or dementia, because she begins to tell him a story that she told him in the beginning of the comic, not remembering that she told him, and also not remembering that his sister, who is a little girl, is dead. This was very, very hard hitting on both fronts. For an entire generation, John Stewart is your Green Lantern because of the Justice League. and Justice League Unlimited. He was your Green Lantern. Then we got the Green Lantern Corps, which I believe was headed by John also. Then we got the Green Lantern, which was headed by John, and John out in space and everything. This hit hard. Anytime you weave stories in like this, I think we're coming to the point where we're doing these comic book stories, but we're weaving in reality, which almost helps to ground it, which sounds weird to ground a story about a Green Lantern who can fly through space and who's met all manners of species and peoples and cultures all throughout the galaxies, the universes even. So whenever you blend that in, it grounds it and it gives it something. Because for all the power you have, for all the things you can do, that ring is powered by will and all the will you have. And you can't stop that. You can't stop that thing happening to your parent, to your loved one. You can't stop time. You can't stop nature and what's happening. That one hits me a little hard. If you know, you know. So this was definitely, I didn't expect for it to hit so hard and to hit me right in the gut at the end reading that, like this particular page here. But it definitely felt, yeah. And I love this. I love when we do things like this. I really do dig it. So yes, Green Lantern War Journal out of DC Comics, phenomenal. The art is fabulous. The green of the constructs really crackles, especially in that panel with the chains. It crackles so hard, and I absolutely love it. So yes, this is one I definitely recommend. Go check it out. So the next one that we've got is this was one I had no idea what it was about, and I'm glad that I picked it up because it's AWA. AWA is a company I've been checking out for a while, and they're awesome. I'm really enjoying their thing. They're really climbing that ladder, which I love to see. This is The Madness. This is out of AWA Studios, and this is written by J. Michael Straczynski. Hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Pencils and cover by ACO. We've got inks by David Lorenzo. We've got colors by Marcello Medlo. Hope I'm pronouncing the name properly. And letters by Sal Cipriano. So, you like how I roll my R's? Cipriano. Yes, yes. Very fluent in tongue rolling. I shouldn't even have said that on live. Just inviting somebody to say something to me. So, like I said, AWA is a company. Check it out. Really enjoy it. So, we have a character who is on a heist. They're going to do one last big score. We've all heard that movies many times. One last big score. And we find out that they have powers. They have, and they're called the Raven. And they have all these superpowers: flight, invulnerability, super strength. But they can only use these powers one at a time, which I always love the fact that there can be limitations on your powers, almost like an ability. Like you can juggle. Like if you're able to juggle, you can play piano. You can cook a souffle perfectly. You can't do all three at the same time. So you have to kind of balance it out. I always love that fact. So during the heist, they're able to switch between the powers, which I love, all the while going through this conversation in their head of this is going to be the last score, I promise. Meanwhile, you find out that the Court of Justice, which is like a superhero group through the government, is monitoring this, and they're like, look, we got to figure out what's going on. We need to stop this. So after the heist, the Raven goes and finds her husband and the child, and they're like, okay, we're going to get out of here. This is it. We've got this. This is great. And then the Court of Justice, they drop this bomb and blow up everything except the Raven, because Raven had their invulnerability at the time. And bit by bit, they're realizing what happened, and they're laying in this huge sinkhole. And she's realizing that they're all dead, and she picks up a ring that was her husband's, and she begins to crack under the pressure and everything. And you notice a change, a physical change. The skin becomes almost all the colors drain out of the skin. The eyes become red and black, and they become the madness. And the madness decides to go on a revenge streak of everyone that has something to do with the fact that her daughter and her husband are dead. You all know I love a great revenge story. Awesome. I love the fact also of a character going through that change. I talked about Torrent, which was a story of a superhero becoming a vigilante. This is kind of in the same way where a character shifts and perhaps a mental illness or what have you is causing his character to shift and even become almost a different person. Maybe they have DID, dissociative identity disorder, which used to be known as multiple personality disorder, which I think might be what this is, which is cool. I think they did something. I think Typhoid Mary has something similar where her different personalities have different powers. So if this is what it might be, the character will have all the powers when they become the madness, which is what they ended up becoming after the death after the murder, I should say, of the son, of the daughter and the husband. It's kind of creepy, kind of cool, almost horror-y. It feels a little bit almost like Brightburn, which is getting a second movie, which I'm actually liked. Brightburn, I love the idea of a reverse in that. Tell me the origin of a superhero, of a super villain. I love that. So yeah, this is out of AWA. This is The Madness. They're only on issue 2 so far, which just came out, I think, last week. I'm saving that to read on the train up to New York tomorrow, along with Blade 3, Wonder Woman #1 from Tom King. I want to see what he does with Wonder Woman. And also, there was something else I was going to read on the way up. I don't remember what it is, but I'll figure it out eventually. Probably, sort of. I have no idea. Whatever. We'll all see. I don't know. Whatever. So next up, the last one that I'm going to be reviewing today is Evora Leigh, A New Breed. So this is one that I got from Kickstarter. You know me and Kickstarter. We go back like babies and pacifiers, old dirty dog, old dirty. Yeah, I'm not even going to start with that. So yeah, this is it. I had huge fun reading this one. This one was really cool. This is out of I love the name of the company. First off, 615 Comics, and if you look at the symbol, is actually a clock that shows 615. This is a story of Evora Leigh Smith, who is like the first of this new breed of humans who have powers and they're enhanced. We've heard this story before, but this was pretty cool also. So creator and writer is Malcolm McFadden. Lines and cover art are Aribi Toluwalase. Hope I'm not butchering a name. I probably am, and I apologize at the bottom of my heart. Colorist is Success. Wait, your first name is Success. I like that. Colorist is Success Ikopolatani or Palati. I apologize again. Lettering is Samuel Adekanmi. I didn't realize there was a variant. I gotta go check out the variant. Okay, cool. So this is the story of Evora Leigh, and when we first introduced to her, we have guards running through this facility. They're like, "Look, you got to get out of here. You got to get me out of here. There's something's wrong. Call for security." And then you see her just unleashing a wave of her energy out there, which I love. That's her ability. And you see her just laying waste. The thing I loved about this is this feels very 90s-ish. I've said that about a couple of comics, and it's 90s in the best way. You see the way the colors, the powers, everything. I just love that feel, and you go straight into action. Not a lot of exposition. We'll get that throughout the story, but you did get that page where it kind of told what was happening with her. She's part of a new breed of humans who are enhanced. They have powers. It's great. And she was a test subject. She was one of the subjects, and she's supposed to be like one of the perfect ones. And see, she just decimates these guards like lickety split. This is like Brock Lesnar with WWE security, just laying waste to them. And at a certain point, they actually send this facility sends one of their failed projects, let's say, to go get her, because you have to fight new breed with new breed. So as she's laying waste to these guards and going through them, which I love, she is encountered by the outcast. All this time, she's trying to figure out where her parents are because she feels that this organization that created her, that was part of this, has her parents somewhere, and she's apt to find them. I love the fact that the parents are still alive and that she's looking for them. It's not a revenge story as far as the fact of they're dead, they were murdered. She's looking for them to have her family whole. I love that little. It's sometimes just little things like that, just little twists on revenge stories that I dig and I enjoy. And her, as you see, like she has to calm herself down. Her powers are rooted to her temper. She has a very bad temper, which would make sense. Emotions are running high. You're going through this facility. You've got guards. You've got your powers. You've got adrenaline. A lot's going on, and you're trying to find them. So she ends up going through these sentries, these robot sentries, laying waste to them as well with her powers. And then she comes up against one of, where are we at? Where are we at? I want to see that fight because that fight was cool. And you see that she's very agile as well, which I think this is a great panel right here. This is a great one. I love seeing characters going through the air as they're moving. And Stephen Harris does this incredibly. There's a panel in Ajala, which is it's Ajala flipping off of a fire escape. It's one of the most beautiful things ever. God, awesome. So I love stuff like I love little shots like I shouldn't say little because the art takes a lot of time to do. I say that as a non-artist. It's great to see. And as she figures out what's going on, and she leaves the facility and she goes on her mobile transport. You start going through her backstory and her temper and trying to figure out her powers and controlling them. Then you realize this is where we are. Outcast, Subject 14, who was one of the outcasts, and they sent Subject 14 after Evora to stop her. And at the end, we're going to have this climactic battle between these two. And how they just roll in the action. Again, like the kind of, I don't know what it's called, but like a fading image of the action of the continuous movement of a character, I think is beautiful, where it starts, where you see where they're at now, but then in almost like a faded image, you see where they were to get to that point movement wise. Awesome. I love that type of action in a comic. It's incredible. So we see them battling forward, and at the end, it's just a standstill. And then they're really going to get into it. I loved it. I think it's awesome. Who is Subject 14? What's the link to Eva? Aside from them both being a part of this project, we're not sure. But I had a great time with this. Now, this is from 615 Comics. This is Evora Leigh, The New Breed. This was out of, like I said, out of their Kickstarter, which I just happened to find by accident. Sometimes when I'm on Kickstarter, I'll scroll through all the projects we love and such, and obviously my the algorithm is going to show me comic books because that's all I've done on. I think I did a game once as well, and I loved it. So yes, go and check out 615 Comics, Evora Leigh, number one. I had a lot of fun with this, and those are the reviews, folks. That wasn't too bad, was it? Was it? No, it wasn't. All right, so folks, I will be right back after this message. Welcome back. Sorry that the beat kind of took me and I was transported somewhere that I wanted to be. Laying up in paradise, obviously. So, yeah. It's been a minute and I've had a lot going on in my head, but let me do a wellness check Friday for y'all. How are you doing? You feeling okay? Have you drank water today? Have you eaten? Have you taken your meds, whether it's a physical or mental ailment, whatever it is? I want you to take them. I want you to be the best you that you can be. It's been a while since I've said anything about this because I was away, and then we had those phenomenal shows. Um, oh my God, with T.J. Sterling, Aleem Leggett, Nigel Lynch, phenomenal stuff, honestly. And then last week's show was kind of was just a rager. But this week I want to make sure that you're good, that you're feeling good, that you're feeling that you're feeling better. And if you're not, I hope you're on your way to taking the steps to be better. Something I've noticed is that if a person who is feeling anxiety, stress, depression, whatever it is, starts doing something, sometimes a lot of people will start coming out and they're like, oh, well, they're doing something, so now I can go ask them stuff. That's not how it is. Ask them to do stuff for you. That's not how it is. That's very, very disrespectful. No. A lot of times I'm doing stuff, but in my mind, it's a dumpster fire. I'm doing backflips while on fire. My shoes are untied. I'm also holding 2 pots of boiling water for boiled eggs. I don't eat boiled eggs. I just holding them. And you're just trying to do everything that you can to not snap. You're like this close. I had a day like that once, and this is the power of Black women. And I was getting through it, and I was fine. And I guess I had this look on my face. I don't know. And a Black woman asked me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, yes, thank you. I just have a lot on my mind. Thank you." Walked away, and I could feel it. And I was like, "No, not right now, not right now, not right now." I left the building. Within 30 seconds, I started crying. Couldn't stop. It just came out. Because Black women pull that out of you. Like, especially older Black women. You okay, baby? You will break. You will break. Promise you. There are times when I've been stretched to the limit, the absolute limit, like paper thin, like thinner than my hairline thin. And you trying to do stuff to try to detach from what's happening. And it sucks because you're being productive and you're like, oh, this should feel better, and you feel okay, but you don't feel better. And people will see that and they'll start asking you, oh man, I see your back. Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Don't do that. Don't do that. Give them time. Give them space. Give them time to process, to get into what they're trying to do before you come at them with something that you want them to do for you. Relax. Something I've started doing to kind of push myself forward, because as of late I've had it's been a bit of a time. My sty is almost gone, as you can maybe not see, which is good that you can't see. I've decided to start making more of an effort to be a minimalist. I'm getting rid of things like clothes, things I don't need, that I don't want. I don't. I love open space and freedom. And I think that's what I'm looking to do. So that's been helping me lately. So when I do that, when I I had a bunch of Blu-ray movies that I wasn't. Honestly, they were DVDs. They weren't Blu-rays, and a lot of them I just wasn't doing anything with. So the ones that were hard to find, I kept, but the others, gone. And I used that shelf for my comics. I was like, okay. So then I did, and I took that shelf and I put all my comics in there. Like, not all of them, because you all know I have a ridiculous amount of comics. But it felt better. I was like, okay, cool. It was a weight was lifted off of my back, off of my shoulders. I love that. So that's what it was. Yes, mechanical. It has to be. I don't like I don't like clutter, and some people said I know it's because I partly have like an OCD thing, or I'm a Capricorn or only child. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, it bothers me to have that. So I like to clear space. Over the summer, I looked at my phone and I was like, none of these people are have even reached out to me about myself, about my well-being, about my mother's well-being. But these were people who wanted to be all up on me at one point, and were all in my space, all in my area. Yeah, no, I'm good. Deleted names, deleted people off of social media, and it felt better. Again, I don't even y'all know how I feel about social media to begin with, but it just felt like great just going no, and creating that boundary for me and the people who I love and care for in that space. So that made me feel so much better to empty that out. So yeah, that's one of my things that I'm doing, is just becoming more of a minimalist and shedding off things that don't enrich me, that don't, if it doesn't enrich me mentally, physically, um uh, emotionally, financially, I don't want it. I don't want it around me. I don't. There's no point. And I'm good with that. I'm totally good with that. So that's my tip. And take your time and let people process things, please. Jeez, my goodness, crazy. So on that note, folks, I'm not going to do a bleak perspective this week. That kind of was my bleak perspective, I guess. But I do want to take care of some housekeeping real quick. And here's the thing. So I've said this on social media, between Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, those are the only ones I do. I have no patience for TikTok. I tried. I just don't care. I'm gonna be honest, just don't care. Just don't care. But I realize it's a tool that I should use, but I just don't care, and I don't want it to come off fraudulent. So here's the thing: pilot program. You noticed in this episode, and you noticed last episode, I believe, also, and you noticed last season, towards the end of last season, I've run little promos, little trailers, little let's say, for lack of a better term, commercials. This is the thing. If you are a writer, a creator, a publisher, indie creator, indie writer, indie artist, indie publisher, if you're a gamer, what have you, to indie creators, I propose this to you. Indie creators, Black, people of color, LGBTQIA, non-gender conforming folks, all of you marginalized people, in those categories, if you have a 30 to 90 second video of your comic, of your publishing company, of you streaming a game, of you doing art, of your murals, of your writing, of your book that you have coming out, of whatever it is, I want to run it as a as again, like a better term, commercial. Here, I want to run it. I'm doing a pilot program probably until the end of the year, and I've had you've seen 2 submissions already. I want to say thank you so very much to them. They're incredible, and what they've got going on is amazing. The comic is great, and the murals are astounding. Actually, Zuina Chalet was on the show last season or the season before that. Awesome, and I love it. So this is the thing. I want you to send me that. I want to run it on the show. I want to run it as like a commercial on here. I want people to see it. If you have anxiety and you don't like doing interviews, I understand that. Whatever. I want to run it, because this right here, the Hungry Bleak Show, this is the go-to spot for indie creators, for Black indie creators, for the top Black indie creators, for the top indie creators of color. This is the place. This is your go-to spot where I will showcase you. I will put you on that pedestal. I will put you over. That's my raison d'etre. That was bougie. Wow. Because you deserve that spotlight. You deserve that kudos. You deserve that. That's it. That's a pilot program. Consider it a courtesy. So I'm not charging. At a later date, I may charge. I'll have a tier system of everything. Once I see how it does and I figure it out and I look at how scheduling and such like that and how we do it and time frame and everything, I'll do it. But right now, I want to do this as a pilot program because I absolutely love it. If you have a con that you have created and you want people to know about it, please come at me. I'm here to put you over. I'm here to present you. I'm here to show you off. I'm here to put you over. Like I said, 30-second to 90-second promo video, and I'll run it here between my segments because that's important. If you're an artist, if you do Twitch gaming, if you have a con that you are a creator on, that you are affiliated with, excuse me, if you're a podcaster, run it. Nobody else is doing this. Nobody. And that's why you come to me. And some of the submissions I've gotten so far are astounding. I mean, I cannot wait to run them. I cannot wait. I can't. They're awesome. So yes, you can always hit me up on Instagram at the Hungry Bleak Show, and or you can hit me up email as well. You can also go to Facebook for the Hungry Bleak Show. Wherever, hit me up. Let me know. Let me check out the video, and we'll go from there. All right. So that's the end of that. But one more thing, folks. So y'all know how I hate trying out for anything, right? I just don't like it. I don't like it. I hate it. And I'm hard-headed too, but something great happened and I'm very excited about it. Two things happened to me over the summer year, whatever. Doing TBA news for Subsume is awesome. We will be coming back. Myself, Jabba Chan, and Joy Infinity. We will be back on Subsume. Thank you so much, Dedrin. But also doing the reviews for BlackSciFi.com. Thank you, Robert Jeffrey, for asking me. I'm honored by it, truthfully. Doing all of that has made me come out of my shell a bit more. And because of that, and because of them, and because of the work I'm doing, I'll be back. New York Comic-Con. I said I would never come back unless I get the pro. I'm back. So that's good. I will be at New York Comic-Con. That's in 2 weeks. Actually, 2 weeks from today. That's 2 weeks from yesterday. I will be back in the building. I might be helping out someone at their table. Depends on what's going on, but I'll be taking in panels. I'll be walking around sales floor. I'll be talking to people. I'll be in the artist alley. I'll be in small press because I need to get into small press. I need to get my fingers into small press and see what's going on. I love it. Just what's going on there. So yes, I will be at New York Comic-Con, and hopefully this will be, a very encouraging thing. I've wanted it for the last 4 years. I haven't been in 4 years. I know we had the pandemic, but then when we came back, I couldn't get in. I couldn't. But I'm opening myself up now to more opportunities and more things to do. And this is one of them. And hopefully there are a couple more things that I will be talking about aside from doing this, because my goal again is to put you all over. So if you're watching this and listening to it, thank you so very much. I truly appreciate it. But I need you to go and check out the artists and the writers and the comics and whatever I'm talking about. I need you to go check them out because they're phenomenal people. And what they've got going on is so cool and so great. I love it. All right. So that is the show, folks. I was a little befuddled with this show's episode description. As you can probably tell, it's very skim. It's like 2% milk. It's like 0.05% milk. Truthfully, it's like it's thin. It's like thin like my patience. So there we go. So look, y'all have a great day. Enjoy the rest of it. I will see you all. I'm going to heat up my tea again. I'm going to do some more reading. I'm going to fix the episode description because it's abysmal for me. Horrible. I'm going to see if it's raining. If it's not, I'm going to go wash some drawers. And I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner. You have a very good one. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. I hope it's phenomenal for you. Be safe out there. Look, folks, as always, do the best you can with what you got, because in the end, that's all that you get. Like the man said, be like water. All right? I'll see y'all later. We're going to do a little shoulder shake with me. Come on. You got it? Come on. Get it. Get it.